like narrations and hadith, when you present it to people, sometimes they say, "Oh, it's da'if or it's weak." So how would we address? I mean, I know there's so many criteria for accepting narrations.
So that is just, that's an excuse not to accept hadith. That's an excuse, because if Shia scholars were really sincere that Shias should follow hadith, there'd be hundreds of books written in Sahih hadith. If they were sincere, okay, their Shia books, our books of hadith are like a mixture of right and wrong, of reliable, unreliable. So what would have been their duty throughout centuries? So the Shia religion did not come into existence just right now. These scholars have been around for over 1,000 years, for a millennium. So why they did not write all these books, right? Sistani, Khuyi, Brujardi, Hakim, go back for generations. Why they did not write any books of Sahih Hadith? Why? And any hadith you put in front of them, so if it does, and that is a matter of really, what should I say? How should I put it? That has become their refuge to run away. Anything, please remember, even if it's the truest hadith, if it contradicts their preconceived dogmas and their prejudices, it'll be a da'if hadith. They will call it da'if, no matter what.
Yeah.
No matter what. Yeah. That's just an excuse, a routine answer to anything that is not that's not consistent with their dogmas. They would call it a da'if. Yeah. So that is, we all know why they didn't write any books of Sahih Hadith. Okay, we do our books of Hadith are not reliable. Why don't you enlighten us and write some books of Hadith that are of books of Sahih Hadith? I think
you've spoken about, I think previous things. I know there was, he did write a book of Sahih narrations from Al-Kafi, right, in Bihar al-Anwar. But then I know what you said in your lectures about him and things like that. But I know that
so that's just one guy, but his methodology is very questionable. If you consider the methodology that Bihar al-Anwar was written, not Bihar al-Anwar, but Al-Kafi in books of Saduq, and these people were written, you will realize that these books are very, very reliable. When they say our hadith is da'if, when Shias say this hadith is da'if, what do they mean as the da'if? The criterion for being da'if is not something scientific or something taken from Quran and Sunnah. It's taken from Bukhari and Muslim. So they have no shame. They take those standards of Umari muhaddithin, Umari scholars, and they apply, and those Umari muhaddithin, they made these standards, these criteria to judge hadith, to evaluate hadith, whether they are sahih or da'if, based on their own ijtihad. They made them up. These are all man-made things, right? So these criteria, these formula were created by Umari scholars, and they've borrowed from them. And they reject the sayings of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salatu wasalam that have been narrated through the most reliable and trustworthy ways. They reject them because they applied those Umari formulas on our hadith. So the whole thing is a farce, is wrong, is bad. Yeah, is an injustice to Shia and injustice to our hadith.
To be honest, and I think my experience now, I think...
Yeah, and that guy who has written the Mu'jam al-Ahadith al-Mu'tabara, that's his problem. That is his problem, yeah. That he doesn't understand Shia hadith. He did not spend his life reading hadith. He is a mujtahid, and a very lousy mujtahid, a very weak mujtahid, not a very well-learned mujtahid on that either. And he comes and massacres Shia hadith. Literally massacres Shia aqaid. And he writes a book of reliable Shia books, Shia hadith, Shaykh Hassan Allahyari. And he gets the annual Writers Award in Iran by Khamenei. And his book, what he writes, he says that last night, what did the other guy, Mawli Abdul Halim, he quote Shaykh Hassan Allahyari. And he's right. Shaykh Hassan Allahyari has said these things, that whoever thinks Imam Asr alayhi salam has any benefit, he's crazy. That he clearly writes in his books, right? And many other things. Question the isma of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. Questions the isma, the imamat of many imams, their ilm. And so that person He is celebrated in the Hawza, celebrated in Iran as a great Shia scholar, subhanAllah. Okay, brother, thank you so much. May God bless you.
Couple questions. I had another couple from different topics. Yeah.
Yeah.
One question was regarding barzakh, and I mean, I guess, what are there any sort of Quranic surahs or verses or du'as that we can recite to, obviously, our death, make our death to be easy and make our stay in our grave to be a good one? And I mean, I guess, well, just generally.
So there are many surahs of the Noble Quran for that purpose. If you go to Mafatih al-Jinan, you'll find those kind of du'as, okay? And basically just doing good deeds, repenting all the time, istighfar, remembering Allah, and praying with the presence of heart, praying while you're paying attention to what you're saying and who you're talking to. All that, the result of that, the consequence of that would be that you will have a good hereafter. Okay, thank you so much, my brother. May Allah bless you.
And one question on Istikharah, if that's okay.
Yeah.
The last one, basically, there's a tendency, and I'm sure you've heard of this, especially in the Indo-Pak communities, is that they do Istikharah for everything, like from marriage decisions to switching jobs to other things, even some minute things. So my understanding, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, is that there's general du'as for Istikharah. For example, we have dua number 33 of Sahifa Sajadiyah, where Imam Zain al-Abidin salam he makes a dua of Istikharah, and that's like a very generic dua, right? However, then there are other forms of Istikharah, like taking at the tasbih or the Quran, and the other forms of Istikharah. From my understanding is that we shouldn't be doing these all the time, and only when we're in a sort of very confused or perplexed decision that we're going to make. For example, say if I want to switch a job and I'm not 100% sure about this job, I should do Istikharah if I'm unsure about it. I mean, is that the way to go, do you think, for our sort of life and our general decisions?
So Istikharah and Shia Hadith is that you ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to show you the right path. That's what Istikharah means. You pray, you ask Allah. If you're doubtful what to do, then you pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that right which is good, you will understand, you will know it, okay? You will find signs that you should go which way. That is Istikharah.
You need to take out the tasbih all the time.
Yeah. The people who do it with tasbih or taking open Quran and look at it, these are things that some people have found it that it works for them, right? It's found it. Mostly it's the, what should I say? People have experience with this. Perhaps it works for them, and that's all I can add at this moment on this topic.